Hello everyone. Myself Mod Patel Darshan from Faculty of Pharmacy, Dharamsi Desai University. Today we will discuss about some interesting facts of COVID-19, also known as coronavirus. All of us has listened this virus name, but none of us has proper information regarding this. Today we will try to explain you more and more information regarding this virus. Firstly, we will start with the virus history.
Respiratory tract infections are the major healthcare problems worldwide. Some which goes without treatment, some that requires the guidance from the general physicians, and some which are cruel enough to cause the worldwide pandemic. Welcome everyone, myself Parth Joshi from Faculty of Pharmacy, Dharamsi Desai University is here to convey some knowledge about COVID-19, that is COVID-19 virus, and as a reason for the worldwide pandemic. Friends, it is not for the first time that the world is under such a threat. It makes us remember various such pandemics that the world has faced till then. It makes us remember about the pandemic of year 2009, where the people were infected by H1N1 virus that we generalize as swine flu virus, which led to the death of about 1,57,000 people across the globe. Not only the pandemic of year 2009, it was back in year 1918, 1957 and 1968 where the people were infected with such pandemics. In year 1918, the people were infected with H1N1 influenza virus, killing about 50 million people across the globe and infecting 500 million people, which was 1/3 of the total population of year 1918. Which was followed by the pandemic of year 1957, where the people were infected by H2N2 mutated influenza virus, where there was a death of about 66,000 people across the world. This pandemic was then followed by the pandemic of year 1968, where the people were infected by H3N2 influenza virus, and there was about death of 1 million people across the globe. So this was a scenario then, and there were such pandemics that the world has faced till death, and COVID-19 is the one which we are facing now. There are a huge range of respiratory viruses that are responsible for producing mild to severe respiratory tract life-threatening infections. Both SARS and MERS, that is Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome and Mid-Eastern Respiratory Syndrome, are responsible for over 10 to 35% of total mortality rate across the globe. So friends, through this video, we will discuss various morphological aspects, the life cycle, various preventive measures, and various drugs and the dose regimens that are used for the treatment of COVID-19 virus or SARS, that is Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome, COV2 virus, that is SARS-CoV2 virus. Friends, according to World Health Organization, there are 3.9 million cases reported for acute respiratory infections every year. Talking about coronavirus, its structure is similar to SARS-CoV-1 virus, that is Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 1. The Severe Acute Respiratory Syndrome Coronavirus 1 was found in year 2001 from bat, which mutated into human, causing about 8,000 humans infections and 800 deaths, with about 10% of mortality rate. This was followed by the MERS, that is Mid-Eastern Respiratory Syndrome infection in Asia or East Asia, which infected about 2,500 people with a death of 800. This is followed by the pandemic of year 2020 or 2019-20, because this coronavirus was found in year 2019 in Wuhan city of China in a person who had symptoms similar to that of pneumonia. That is cough, fever, wheezing, dizziness, myalgia, uneasiness, a high fever, right? So these were all symptoms of that individual which is similar to the symptoms of pneumonia. So initially the physician gave the treatment of pneumonia to that person, or they were not sure that what was the virus of, because as far as the reports were concerned, the symptoms were of pneumonia, and there no significant focus was given on what.
After discussing the history of coronavirus, now there is time to discuss the actual life cycle of coronavirus. Now we will see the actual life cycle of coronavirus.
Now understand the life cycle of coronavirus. As far as we know that the coronavirus is transmitted from an infected individual to a healthy individual, reproductive potential of this virus is comparatively high to any other respiratory tract infections. Suppose X is an infected individual and Y is the person or a normal person or a healthy individual. The X has a potential to infect 3 other individuals. As far as the research are concerned, it is proven that each coronavirus infected individual has an ability to infect 3 other people. So, an infected individual will infect 3 other people, will individually infect 3 other people. So this is how the infection occurs. So the person or infected person, when sneezes, coughs or touches any object, and by chance or by mistake, if that object is touched by any healthy individual, and the infections get transmitted. The virus is either inoculated through aerosols or inhaled with the inoculated either through inhalation or by touching any object or any other etiological means. So as soon as the virus enters into the body of a healthy individual, it resides into the pharynx, that is the oro and the nasopharynx portion of the respiratory tract. It is mandatory to mention over here that if the virus is present in the oropharynx, then the further complications can be avoided or prevented. So as far as the guidelines are concerned or the home remedies are concerned, it's suggested that one should take turmeric along with water or warm water and gargle with the warm water and soothe their pharynx. But if the precautionary measures are not taken, then the virus will penetrate into the lower respiratory tract, starting from trachea to bronchi and bronchioles, and then leading to the alveoli. This is the detailed portion or the detailed diagram of an alveoli. Alveoli has 2 types of cells, pneumocyte 1 and P2, which means pneumocyte 2 cells. The coronavirus infects this pneumocyte 2 cells. The pneumocyte 1 cells have the function of exchange of air or gases, and function of pneumocyte 2 is to produce surface active agents or in other words you could say that surfactants, to have that surface active property. The detailed diagram of this pneumocyte 2 is shown over. This is the detailed diagram of pneumocyte type 2 cell. The pneumocyte type 2 cell have a ACE2 receptor on its surface, on which the SARS-CoV-2, that is coronavirus, binds. Whenever the coronavirus binds to it, the spike protein is responsible for that binding force and for that strong binding on ACE2 receptors. As soon as it binds to this receptor, there are certain conformation changes that are brought into the virus, which leads to the vesicle formation and endocytosis of that virus into the host cell. As soon as it enters into the host cell, the mRNA is released. In other words, you could say that viral mRNA is released into the host cell. Transcription of this viral mRNA occurs, and this transcription occurs in pieces. Each mRNA, this transcription will produce it's discontinuous transcription, and which will produce separate mRNAs for separate proteins. That means each mRNA produced will be complementary to its particular protein or will correspond to a particular protein. So those mRNA produced will be transcribed or translated into the proteins
or respective proteins that are necessary for the formation of the coronavirus. There are four major types of proteins here, and there are four mRNA coding for each protein. N, M, S and E proteins. The E protein stands for envelope protein, S protein stands for spike protein, M R for membrane protein, and N R for the nucleoside caspid proteins. The proteins that are produced are stored in the virons that are present on the endoplasmic reticulum and the Golgi apparatus. This further leads to development of a vesicle. This vesicle bursts out, eliminating the virus by the process of exocytosis. As the virus moves out, it again starts the same cycle and produces other viruses. That means it increases the viral load, and once the viral load increases, the chances of infection or infections become more prominent, and the treatment becomes more difficult. So this was the life cycle of coronavirus.
These were some of interesting things which we had tried to discuss with you. I hope you all like this. Now we will discuss about symptoms, prevention and many more things about this virus. But we will all discuss all these things in our second part, which is more interesting. So please stay updated. Till then, stay home, stay safe and support our front warriors. Thank you for watching our video. We will soon back with our second part.